Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an alien activity video, and I'm titling this one The Las Vegas Fender Bender Follow-Up Part 2. Yeah, I've done a number of videos on this incident, and it seems like new information keeps coming up, but this is definitely an ongoing case and has been investigated by at least 4 different teams that I'm aware of, plus a number of bullshit investigations. Before I get into this, though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And friends can still disagree. Remember that. Check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page over on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the ones pictured here. The 3 books pictured here, Vanguard 1, Task Force Terminus, and Gulag of the Damned. Collectively, they're the Devo Poland Chronicles. And I'm working on another one, too. So, they're essentially space warfare, science fiction, futuristic. It's, I don't know. It's a study of humanity from an alien perspective. Lost my train of thought there. Couldn't figure out what the hell I was going to say. At any rate, I hope you get them and I hope you like them. Everything on my author page is quirky weird, so if you like the quirky weird, go check it out. All right, here we go. The Las Vegas Fender Bender, another follow-up. Follow-up part 2. The first video I did was the Las Vegas Fender Bender. I did a follow-up on it, and this is the second follow-up. So go check out those other 2 videos before you watch this one. The first investigation was done by Las Vegas police who responded to the family's 911 call. Those officers are on camera, and they really took the family seriously. They treated the family with respect, of course, because, you know, they're the police, they have to. However, they didn't come at this with, you know, thinking it was silly or some kind of a hoax or whatever. They really believed what the family was saying. The video the family captured has been scrutinized multiple times. I talk about it extensively in my follow-up video. The 911 call has been analyzed, and it also cannot be debunked. The caller is not lying and is genuinely concerned. Multiple cameras all around the area, including another law enforcement officer's body camera, caught the objects falling from the sky. There's over 15 minutes of police body cam footage, which has been redacted, and we need to see that. Okay, that's important, because if that body camera footage caught something that the police were not willing to divulge for whatever reason, then I can understand if they're keeping it secret, if it shows personal stuff about the family. But if there's an alien being on there, we kind of need to see it, you know. That being said, thus far, nothing that has gone on here can be seriously and credibly debunked. Okay? So if that body cam footage shows anything noteworthy on the investigation, we need to see that. The world needs to see that. The second investigation was by another police unit, and they could not debunk the case. This is part of the official police record. They could not debunk the case. At least 2 independent civilian teams have investigated the case, and they could not debunk it. These were serious investigators. These people investigate UFOs and paranormal stuff all the time, and they take it seriously. They did serious investigations, and they could not debunk it. There have been a number of bullshit investigators who came at this with the idea that it was a hoax. They figured it was a hoax right off the bat. And don't get me wrong, healthy skepticism is a good thing. a really good thing. But some of them made assertions, they made conclusions without actually doing a real investigation. Some of them actually went to the address, but most didn't even look at the evidence or the area. They all dismissed it without looking at it seriously, and their assessment should be ignored. And I know of two of them by name who when they did their assessment, they got the city wrong. Yeah. So far, here is what we know. This is verified truth. These are facts. Okay, according to the police and these two independent investigations, here's what we know. Objects fell from the sky. At least two. They could have been related. One could have come off of the object number two could have come off of object number one prior to the video. We don't know. But at least two distinct objects fell from the sky. At least one of them landed in the backyard lot of a Las Vegas, Nevada family. Excuse me. The family called 911. And then they went and investigated on their own. At least two of the family members were concerned enough about these beings in their backyard that they were armed. They're on camera holding handguns. The family was then chased out of the backyard by one or more of these beings. There were, in fact, beings in the backyard of that Las Vegas family. They're on video. The video the family shot on their phones clearly shows multiple beings in that backyard. Some were tall, some were short, some looked to be insectoid, some were humanoid. There were beings in that backyard. They are on that video. The video is real. It has not been altered. It's not CGI or anything like that. The video is in fact real. It does exist. The beings in question were not human. This is not a thing where, Cousin Billy was dressed up in a alien suit. Okay? At least as far as we can tell. If the beings in question were, if this is a hoax, the beings in question were highly advanced, possibly animatronics, robotics, or double-jointed acrobats in crazy costumes that look real. Really, really real. Okay? If it's not a hoax, then those beings in that backyard were real, they're not human. Okay? At some point, the world is going to have to take this case seriously. That's the bottom line. The evidence is overwhelming, and nobody has been able to seriously debunk this case. It's not at this point, it's not a matter of saying, well, that's a cool hoax, or it's an interesting idea, because there's video to prove that it actually, in fact, happened. And the family is not getting rich off of this, so it's not like they're making money. They're not. They're trying to stay anonymous, but there you go. If anybody else has any more information, and by the way, one of the cameras that caught this was a FLIR, and the objects falling from the sky did not show up on the FLIR. A FLIR is a forward-looking infrared. So I'm getting tongue-tied. So The objects did not show up on the FLIR, but they were caught on regular cameras falling from the sky. Any object falling through the atmosphere is going to, because it was glowing, they had to generate heat somehow through friction, if nothing else. The forward-looking infrared could not find them. Okay? So, I mean, it shows an airplane flying along, but it doesn't show the objects falling. That in and of itself is noteworthy. So, like I said, if anybody else has any more information, please put it in the comments. I'm sure we'd all love to read it. I don't know what to say about this. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.